Hello everyone, welcome to sqadia.com. I'm your presenter Sananur Rahman, and today the topic of my presentation is limbs. This is the second section of this presentation, and in this section we'll be talking about the osteogenesis. This section has been further subdivided into an introduction and the two processes of osteogenesis, the endochondral and the intramembranous ossification. So what is the process of ossification? Ossification is the process of laying down of bone. So ossification is the process of osteogenesis, which is also known as the process of laying down of new bone. Two types of cells are involved in this process, the osteoblasts and the osteoclasts. So here in this figure, we have these osteoblasts. These are regular, well-defined cells with single nuclei. These are the bone-forming cells, the blasts. Blast always stands for formation. Here on the left side we have large irregular cells which have multiple nuclei. These cells are called the osteoclasts. Class stands for dissolution or destruction. So these are the bone resorptive or bone destroying cells. The activity of both the osteoclast and the osteoblast is required for the formation of new bones. So there are two types of ossification or the process of ossification. The first one is intramembranous ossification. The second one is endochondral ossification. So now let's take a look on intramembranous ossification. It occurs more commonly in the flat bones throughout the body. The mesenchyme in the dermis, it differentiates directly into a bone. So occurring in the flat bone, and the mesenchyme directly forms the bone, the adult bone. So now let's take a look at the steps. There are four basic steps. The mesenchymal cells, these are the mesenchymal cells. They group into clusters. A cluster has been formed and differentiate into osteoblasts. These are the osteoblasts. The mesenchymal cells, they have differentiated into osteoblasts. Osteoblasts were the bone forming cells. And ossification centers have been formed. This is an ossification center. So initially the mesenchymal cells, they tend to come together. They form a cluster. Some of these cells form the osteoblast and an ossification center has been formed. Next, these osteoblasts now secrete osteoid. Osteoid is an extracellular matrix that is rich in bone forming materials. Now this osteoblast which has secreted this osteoid has become an osteocyte. Osteocyte is a mature bone cell. Now these osteocytes are embedded within the osteoclast, within the osteoid. In third step, the trabecular matrix and the periosteum have been formed. This trabecular matrix is formed and the periosteum is laid down. This is the periosteum and this is the trabecular matrix. These are laid down in the third process. The fourth and the final process, it causes the formation of compact bone which develops superficial. This is the compact bone. This is the compact bone. It develops superficial to the trabecular bone. This is the trabecular bone. Trabecular are large open air spaces. And the crowded blood vessels, these blood vessels which were initially crowded within the trabeculae now form the red bone marrow. So the red bone marrow is formed. So there are four steps in intramembranous ossification. First of all, the mesenchymal cells, they tend to arrange themselves. After arranging some of the cells, they differentiate, they form a cluster, they differentiate into osteoblasts. These osteoblasts now tend to secrete osteoid and ossification centers have been formed. Now, in the second step, this osteoblasts will now secrete osteoid and they become embedded in the osteoid to form the adult bone cell, which is osteocyte. In the third step, the trabecular matrix and the periosteum are laid down, and in the fourth step, the compact bone is formed superficial to the trabecular bone, and inside the trabecular bone, the crowded blood vessels are converted into red bone marrow. Now we have the endochondral ossification. In endochondral ossification, bone forms by replacing the hyaline cartilage. So a hyaline cartilage model has already been formed, and the bone has to replace that hyaline cartilage model to form the adult bone. Now, the mesenchymal cells differentiate into chondrocytes. So again, the mesenchymal cells, they arrange themselves and they differentiate into chondrocytes that produce a cartilage model of the future bone. So a cartilage model of the future bone has been formed. Now, blood vessels on the edge of the cartilage model bring osteoblasts that deposit a bony collar. So a bony collar has been formed. A bony collar is formed by the blood vessels which bring osteoblasts along with them. So capillaries now penetrate the cartilage and deposit bone inside the cartilaginous model, forming the primary center of ossification. So this is the primary center of ossification, which is formed by the penetrating capillaries which are depositing bone inside the cartilaginous model. Now, the cartilage and chondrocytes continue to grow at the ends of the bone. Here, these are the ends of the bone at which the cartilage and the chondrocytes, they continue to grow, while the medullary cavity, this is the medullary cavity that expands and remodels. This you can see it clearly, it is expanding and remodeling at the same time. Now the secondary ossification centers usually develop after birth. Hyaline cartilage remains at the epiphyseal plate. Epiphyseal plate, also known as the growth plate. This is the epiphyseal plate. Hyaline cartilage remains there, and the joint surfaces is covered by the articular cartilage. The joint surfaces are now covered by articular cartilage. So this was the process of ossification. In this section, we talked about how ossification takes place. Ossification was the process of formation of bone. Then we talked about the two methods of ossification, the intramembranous and the endocardial method of ossification. Both of these are very important for your understanding of bone formation and pathologies associated with it. I hope you found it as easy as I did. Keep watching sqadia.com.